Round, round, get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around.
Hello, chemistry class. Today we will be talking about combustion. We will be talking about how it affects our lives, our everyday lives that is, and where we can find it, its molecular makeup, everything about combustion you could ever want to know, all by yours truly. So, why is combustion important? Well, take an engine for example, which takes you to school, or 1 or 2 or 3, in your airplane that takes you to visit your grandparents. Now, everyone loves old people. There's even one in the fighter aircraft which protects your country from bad guys. Some of you may have even kept your home warm at night by burning some wood in a wood-burning stove. How about cooking? Y'all like to cook, y'all like to eat, I know that. Natural gas is methane and it burns in a combustion reaction to cook your food. Unless you use a microwave, then this won't apply to you or your hot pockets. A combustion reaction takes place when a fuel and oxygen react, producing heat or heat and light. Other recognizable combustion reactions include a burning candle or a nice toasty campfire. These reactions are highly exothermic, which means they release energy, often in the form of heat. That's why combustion chemistry is used to heat homes and fuel cars. One interesting thing to note is that combustion reactions cannot proceed once the oxygen is depleted. Have you ever put an upside down glass over a burning candle? I don't know, have you? Woohoo! Shoot, dang! That was not supposed to happen at all. Wow. Check it out. You'll notice that the candle will burn for a little bit longer, but as soon as all the oxygen in the glass is consumed, the fire will disappear. Pretty neat, huh? Wow, that was truly thrilling. One of the things that really does interest me is cars, like how a car engine works. Because honestly, put some thought into this. How would you feel to have 4 people or more every day on your back and have to take them everywhere, and you were only fed a Big Mac once a week? Like 1, not 2 or 3, but 1. I think that's how a car feels sometimes. Landon here is going to help us understand how a car works.
Alright, and this is the cap and rotor, which is, it takes spark from the coil. The coil sends spark to this rotor, and this rotor spins around in a circle. There, that guy spins in a circle, firing each spark plug, hitting them, sending spark to each different cylinder in a fire. They don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 3, 5, 6, 4.
2.
And after the spark is delivered to each of those cylinders, the cylinder that has gas in each one of those is fired, which causes the piston to extend. And as soon as it extends, the bottom fills up with exhaust, and there's a camshaft that goes through that'll push the other cylinders back down, so the exhaust that is now under the piston is pushed down through the exhaust pipe back to the back of the car. And this is constantly happening.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. Thanks Landon for that. So what Landon was trying to say is that when you press down on your gas pedal, gas and air enter into this tube thing. Okay girls, can you understand that little tube thing? It goes into your piston. Jokes, it doesn't go into your piston, kind of does. So it goes down into this thing, camshaft. The camshaft, kind of like a wash machine, keeps the things running, like the thingies running. Still with me on the thingies? So pistons are the thingies, okay? So the camshaft helps the pistons stay in sync, okay? So then think of this little compass thing, okay? like just a little compass. If you were like spinning around in circles, then the little compass would be spinning too, okay? And every time it hit north, south, east, and west, it'd send off a little electric spark thing, okay? Still with me? Okay. So what it would do is it'd send the spark to this air and fuel mixture that has entered into the piston. And when it hits that piston, the piston is now trying to close, kind of like the syringe. It tries to close, and then it hits and it goes whew, and that's the energy, that's the combustion. It's called an internal combustion engine because the combustion happens on the inside. So to recap on that, so when you press down on the gas, the air and fuel mixture enters in. It goes through the camshaft where the carburetor pushes it out into each of the pistons. As the pistons are trying to close with this air and fuel mixture inside of it, the electric shock from the little compass thing that Landon showed us, it's that thing that he took off, sends the shock through, the spark, and it ignites the fuel inside, and it goes pshh, and that's how you get your wheels to turn. Now there's a lot more behind that, but that's where the combustion happens, is right inside the carburetor and the piston. Okay, what I'm about to say is a little confusing, so just try and pay close attention. The energy gained from the reaction is greater than the energy put into the reaction. It is common knowledge that a spark is needed to make a hydrocarbon burn. In other words, the gasoline. The spark represents the energy needed to break the carbon-carbon and the carbon-hydrogen bonds of the hydrocarbon molecule, as well as the oxygen-oxygen bond of the oxygen molecule. The typical carbon-carbon bond requires 350 kilojoules a mole to break. The typical carbon-hydrogen bond requires 413 kilojoules a mole, and the oxygen-oxygen bond requires about 498 kilojoules a mole. We know, however, the energy is released from these reactions, and it is released when new bonds are formed. The hydrogen-oxygen bonds of water release about 464 kilojoules a mole of energy when formed, and the carbon-oxygen bonds of CO2 releases about 800 kilojoules a mole when formed. The net outcome is the release of energy in the form of heat. When oxygen is a limiting factor, it is not possible to pair every carbon atom with two oxygen atoms during a combustion reaction. Thus, some carbon atoms end up with only one oxygen atom. This produces carbon monoxide. When a combustion reaction produces CO2, it is referred to as incomplete combustion.
Gasoline is whirled through the manifold to keep the mixture uniform, speeded up in one place and slowed down in another, so the same amount of gas gets into each one of the cylinders. These are the valves that control the gas going into the cylinders. These big intake valves certainly make it easy for gas to get into the cylinder. No crowding, no pushing, no waste. Important for gasoline economy. There's the spark plug up there, just in the right place to burn all this gasoline. And here comes that great big piston. There's the exhaust valve opening up. And here comes the piston again. Lucky they made the exhaust valve large, too, so we can get out in a hurry. There goes the ghost of our drop of gasoline. Thanks to the engineers, he's given a perfect account of himself. He has led a more fortunate life than lots of other drops. Of course, every drop must go from the tank to the exhaust. But they don't all have the economy adventures met by every drop of gas which goes down this gasoline trail.
Alright, so combustion video. It's great. Kind of, sort of. It's a challenge to do, definitely. Don't totally understand it. I don't know if you could pick that up from the video or not, but I did my best. I watched a lot of videos, read a lot of articles, a lot of Wikipedias and, is that what you call Wikipedia? Like Wikipedian? Spanish, Espanol? No. You know, real talk. So this is what I wear at home. Completely normal. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be a little bit more real. Combustion is basically like when you have a fuel source and you burn it and it uses oxygen to continue burning. So like with the candle and the jar over top of it, we cut off the oxygen source and it stopped burning. That's what I was trying to get at. I burned other things such as WD-40 and steel wool. That was exciting. Lots of excitement for me. And then I tried to go up a level, get a little bit more like, you know, excitement there, and I doused a rope, a string with rubbing alcohol and tried to light it on fire. It didn't work so well. So you know how that goes. So yeah, basically combustion, pretty sweet. You know, it gets you where you need to go, whether it's in a plane or it's a car or you know, whatever it is. Cooking, it gets you food. Everyone loves food, so you know, don't tell me the combustion isn't important because you only use it in your car, because you wouldn't have food without combustion. Well, I guess good food. But the other reason why I chose this was because of how it reminded me of Christ, and how in a working relationship you need two working parts. In our relationship with Christ, that's us and Jesus, and the two go hand in hand. You know, we need to be in an active relationship for it to work, and it's the same way with combustion. In a car, you need air and gas in order for it to work. So that was a big reason why I chose it, was because I was looking at my life and being, you know, how combustion is always needed. Like two parts are always needed: oxygen and something else. And in my life, you know, without Jesus, you know, I probably wouldn't be at this school. So that being said, I just want to say thank you guys. I'm probably going on Tuesday. Hopefully going on Tuesday. If it's not Tuesday, happy Friday. So, yeah, it's just been sweet 4 years, but you guys have definitely been my favorite class to be with, and definitely every day, like being able to go in and just like joke, you know, whether it was about not doing my homework or like answering the question right, or you know, whatever it was. Like, you guys were so encouraging and so much fun to be with, especially in the corner, you know. It's just, you guys were a fun group, and definitely my favorite class in high school. Probably not the favorite class I took, but the favorite class of people. And Mr. Anderson, you were pretty great. Thanks, guys, and good luck next semester.